What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? And we just got done with the Bethesda conference, and my god, what a freaking roller coaster that one was. Holy shit. Like, there were moments, where I was like, damn, this is a freaking one of the best conferences they've had in a long time. And then there were moments where I was like, they're killing themselves right now. They seriously are. Like, my god. My god. Um, but we're going to get into it. We're going to break down this conference, sort of see which games came out and what surprises and what letdowns and stuff that we had. So first up, after like this freaking concert with Andrew WK, just going nuts on stage, and everyone just sort of sitting there nodding their heads very politely. There were a couple there getting into it, but there were some that were like, I'm not here for this. We knew Rage 2 was going to be here. We knew it was because the leak, thanks to Walmart Canada, and Pete Hines, man, like there was some good gaffes in this one. There's some good jokes. Like there was stuff where they were making fun of themselves, and Pete Hines kind of went at Walmart Canada too, which was hilarious. But we got Rage 2. We got to see a lot more of it, and dude, that game looks so good. It looks super cool, man. It's sort of like this combination of Fallout and Doom, or Fallout and Wolfenstein. It looks really cool. I didn't actually play the first one, and apparently it wasn't all that good in places. Apparently, like the last mission was very bad too. I didn't actually play it, but what I've seen of this one, holy shit, am I playing this? It looks really good. It's sort of like, it's got that Mad Max feel, but it's kind of got that Fallout feel too and stuff. It looks really good. Like what I saw out of it. They showed off a mission and everything. Well, it's a very edited mission again, but I guess time wise and stuff. I liked it a lot. I thought it was super cool. The gunplay looks great, and I mean, I think the games that are coming out now for Bethesda, they're using a lot of the stuff that they learned from Doom and all that to make the gunplay really good. It's paying off with Rage and all that now that they're getting it too. And can I just say, the dude from Avalanche Games, I think it's like his first name was like Magnus. He's like what I want to be when I grow up. He was massive, dude. He was buff as hell and all the rest of it, but he was like so nervous. It was awesome. He was cool. But Magnus was great. But Rage was awesome. That Rage 2 was great. Really looking forward to that one. So this is what I mean by it's a roller coaster. Like we had the high of Rage 2, then we come down the lows of the Elder Scrolls Legends, and then we come back up again for Doom Eternal, which is basically Doom 2, essentially. I wasn't sure when I first saw it. It was like when I saw the name Eternal, I was like, oh damn, like is this gonna be something else? Is this not like a sequel? But it is a sequel. It's a sequel to Doom, the obviously the reboot of Doom. Hell on Earth looks great. Apparently twice as many demons, probably more guns, everything like that. Honestly, if they do what they did in Doom, the reboot of Doom, they do it in this, but even more, it'll be sweet. It'll be fine. I have no problems with it whatsoever. The Doom is fantastic. They keep that music going, all the rest of it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's keep doing it. We had Prey DLC. We've got two new Prey DLCs coming. Moon Crashers, which is sort of like this procedural sort of simulation thing. Like it basically, like every time you play it, the runs are different. Like you play runs. So I think when you die, you restart the run, and you get new weapons and stuff each time. You get new like enemies to fight. New, like the actual levels are different. It's apparently infinitely replayable. That's what they keep saying. Like you can keep playing. So it's kind of like a roguelite, I guess, a little bit, with procedural dungeons and stuff. So that's interesting. I mean, Prey was quite good. I enjoyed Prey. So that's something to see. Then they also got another mode coming out called Typhoon Hunter, which basically is prop hunt by the sounds of it. I think it's 6 people. One person is like a hunter, and then the other 5 are mimics, and you go off and you hide as a inanimate object or something. And that's as far as I really caught on with the thing. And apparently it's going to be playable in VR too. That was one of the other further on down the conference with all the VR stuff they were talking about. And really, Bethesda's one of the only ones that goes on about VR anymore. Um, yeah, they said that it's going to be playable in VR. So, okay. So if you like prop hunt and stuff, that's a thing. Then we got an announcement for Wolfenstein 2. Looks like a standalone DLC where you play BJ Blazkowicz's twin daughters, which is pretty cool. If you've been following the sort of new reboot of Wolfenstein, you kind of it follows along quite well. Where you're playing the 1980s, and it's a co-op thing. So twins, so that way it works out. So you can play it solo, but you can also play it co-op too, where I think you choose which twin you play. And the way they kind of did the teaser, it looked like it was like one was good with guns and one was more of a melee fighter or something like that. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but they had suits on and stuff, and it looked cool. It looked really cool, and it'd be cool to see like some story things and them jumping forward in time a little bit. But I think, it's just a standalone DLC. Then I think we'll probably get a Wolfenstein 3, definitely, because of the way Wolfenstein 2 went later on. But they didn't make any announcements of Wolfenstein 3. So then we basically got Todd Howard for like almost 30 minutes. It was him just on the stage telling it how it is and just basically announcing basically explaining Fallout 76 and then announcing a few things after that, and we'll get into that bit as well, because there's some big stuff there too. Fallout 76, like we thought, it sort of got leaked and people figured out, online survival game, and they kind of went into a little bit, but the more they spoke about, the more questions we have now, and a lot of it is very depending on like if this thing is actually going to be good or not. So they said that you will not see a server when you go in. You can play with friends, but you will not see a server, and there'll be like dozens of people on that server, and it's dedicated servers, so that's always a good thing. But there'll only be like dozens of people. There won't be hundreds on there or anything like that. Because like they're like, oh, it's an apocalypse, so why would there be hundreds of people? Sort of thing. The way I think about that is like it sounds like it's more like Sea of Thieves stuff. Like that's what worries me a little bit with Sea of Thieves. Like I would love to be able to have a private server where I can invite friends on, or like I like to stream, so like I could have like chat come in and stuff like that, and do that sort of thing, and like RP and all that. If Fallout could do that, that would be awesome. Like imagine like Fallout RPing. Like that'd be great. Especially in a survival game like that. Like that'd be awesome. But I'm not sure if it has that. Because it said like you do not see a server when you go in. And it feels like it's like a phase in, phase out thing. Which is very Sea of Thieves. Very Sea of Thieves. So there's base building. There is apparently there's some type of questing as well. There's 6 regions that all have different things and areas and stuff like that. Obviously, there's the scavenging. I imagine there's a crafting, but they never really went into the crafting side of things. It's just, but then when they start going on, and apparently you can build anywhere. And also, you can build anywhere on the map, apparently. You can build anywhere on the map. But then there's also things that have major concerns too. Apparently, they're allowing nuclear missiles on this thing. There's a couple of sites around the map which will have nuclear missiles in them. And if you go out and you find the keys, which are in like radioactive zones, and you got to kill mobs and stuff, and apparently there's like 5 keys. I think it's like spells bingo or something. You can launch a nuke. You can launch a nuke on an area, and that's a populated area. If like say some guys down the way that's away from your base, and they're being like coming at you or something, you can launch a nuke on them if you put in the work to do it. And like honestly, I feel like that's gonna be like major griefing thing. Like imagine, right? You're just sitting along playing. Well, you've not done anything to anyone. Not doing anything to anyone, and you've been playing and you've been putting the time in and all the rest of it. Suddenly, someone launches a nuke, wipes all your shit out. You're done. That's it. You're back to square one again. Like, I do not like that at all. I don't like that at all. Like, it's one thing to be attacked by an enemy or people to like, come and steal stuff from you and stuff like that. That's part of survival games. Like, you can understand and you can build defenses to that. But a goddamn nuclear missile that can be launched from any time and you have no idea it's coming. Well, at least we don't know that yet. You may get a warning, but you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Like, unless you have like anti-nuclear things that you can put up. Like, I doubt that's a thing. Like, it concerns me that. It concerns me. And I mean, yes, it's going to take a lot of work to, get into that. It's going to take a lot of work to like work your way up to, really, it's going to take a lot of work to get those keys and to get that stuff. But honestly, a troll that really wants to put in the work will put in the work. Because, people like that really want to do that stuff, guess what? They take more pleasure in that than anything. So they'll do all the work to get those keys. They'll do all the work. And what worries me too is that you could get a group, a decent sized group that could control the entire map that way. Like they just, if I don't know what the actual limit on the party size that you can have or like clans or whatever they're going to have. But if they controlled it that way and they just keep going off and getting keys and all the rest of it and they just controlled the nukes, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, there'd be no point in building things then. Just go around killing stuff, I guess. But they did show off like different monsters and stuff, and apparently the like mutants and stuff attack your base. The game looks better. It does look better. Apparently they've done a lot of stuff with like the environments and stuff. Apparently it's got like 12 times more detail or something like that. They have done some good tweaks to the actual game engine itself. Knowing Bethesda, it will be buggy. It will be buggy, and that worries me with an online game too. Especially what will be a full price AAA title. I mean, they already got a collector's edition. I mean, I don't. There's no price out for it yet, but it's got a badass helmet. It's got things, all the rest of it. And knowing Bethesda, that thing will cost a pretty penny. So, like, this game, they better get that stuff right. It better be bug free, and they are doing a beta. They did not announce a date for that, but there is a beta and stuff. So I'm sure there's somewhere you can sign up to figure, either get into it or get notified of it early. But like, it's what I thought it would be. It's what Fallout 76 I thought it would be. It's definitely reusing the building assets. It's using a lot of mechanics from Fallout 4. It's like they're trying to get the last bit out of Fallout 4 before they move on to Fallout 5. This is kind of their first sort of foray into this type of thing. Like, really the only other multiplayer thing is ESO, like on their MMO, but it's not quite the same. Like, MMOs are a completely different beast to what this is. We'll see. I won't judge it yet. I'll play it and figure it out from there. But I mean, they said you could play it solo, but you can play solo. You can play survival games solo as well. That doesn't mean that everyone else isn't there. Like, I don't know if they'll have like like some survival games have basically an offline mode where you can just play yourself and have the world to yourself, and you just go off and make bases and all the rest of it and do whatever you want. They never really went into that. They never really went into it, which is, there's a lot of things that need explaining. There's a lot of things that need explaining. A lot of things that, like, about servers, about the server size. Like, saying dozens of people is not specific enough. We need to know why. Can we have our own servers? Can we make private servers? Can we have those things that way? Can we, like I said, can we have an offline game where we can play like this? We can make bases and not worry about someone coming in and nuking us. Is that a thing? How's the questing system like? Is there questing? Is there NPCs? Things like that. Like, online survival game, what we know of that is likes of Rust and Ark and all the rest of it. So we'll see. But I might do a more in-depth video on that. We're really getting into Fallout 76, but move on from there. Then they started going to mobile games, and this is where I was like, holy shit, they're about to Like they're really starting to kill themselves here. So they went into Fallout Shelter, which is typical, and they started boasting about how much, how many people played it. It's like 120 million people or something played it, but I don't know how many people are still playing it. I'm sure it's not that many. Then they went into another mobile game, which was an Elder Scrolls game, and holy shit, I was like, if they end on this, and they end on them putting more assets into an Elder Scrolls game that is not ES6. Holy shit. Like, Fallout 76 is not strong. Rage 2 is not strong enough to save this. Doom is not strong enough to save this. That Elder Scrolls Blades is basically like a sort of like hack and like a sort of slashy game. You sort of slash to fight and all that. It's a primitive Elder Scrolls game by the looks of it. It's got base building, it's got dueling, it's got I think a little bit of like questing and stuff like that, kind of like procedural dungeons. It's a mobile game. It's not it's not the Elder Scrolls game that we want. There are already people cursing out ESO because they think it's taking away all the time and resources from ES6. So now you're putting more time and assets into a mobile game, and we know why you're making a mobile game, because they're pretty easy to make. They're easier than big games like Fallout and all that, and they make you money quickly. So I was just like, don't do this, Bethesda. Like Todd Howard, and like you can tell with Todd when he's talking about things, like if he's actually really passionate about it, and you could see the differences when he was talking about stuff, and he was not on this one. He was trying to hype it, and it's Todd Howard, and he does his best, but that was not a good thing. That was not a good thing. Like Elder Scrolls Blades, I have no interest in that. And they want to put it on everything. They want to put it on PC. They want to put it on consoles. They want to put it on phones. They want to put it on VR. They want to put all the shit. So yeah, that was not a high point. But they came through in like the final seconds to save themselves. First up, this sort of sci-fi RPG that they've kind of been hinting about, this new IP that they've been hinting about for like the past sort of 3 years or so, maybe a bit longer. Starfield. Just a brief tease. These are basically like the last two things we saw were brief teasers, basically just saying, hey, they're a thing, they're coming, but we got nothing yet. And this is what I felt like the new Star Wars game that EA should have done. They should have done just a simple title screen. But this was a little more. But yeah, proved that the little teaser we saw proved it was in space. Well, at least it showed a space station. And it was in space, and it was sort of like a kind of a warp effect happened, and it was like boom, Starfield. I'm very excited for that one. New IP, sci-fi based, like all that shit. Just like if that could be the next like Mass Effect game, kind of in a way, like the next one to take over from Mass Effect, because we're not getting a new one. Like that would be awesome. That'd be so sweet. So hopefully that thing comes through, but I don't expect anything from that till like, I think we'll see something from it in next E3, but I don't expect to get it till like 2020, like at least. Then the big coup de grace at the end, where they really saved themselves. They basically announced that they're making Elder Scrolls 6. And it was so great to see that happen. It was like, thank you. Like, thank you. Like, I know they've been saying, like, they're like, oh yeah, we're working on it, but at least now, it's like, we got video, people. We got video. You've said it. Now, do I expect to get it within the next 2-3 years? No, I think this is like a 2021, 2022 type release. We may not see it, like something about it again to maybe another 2 E3s. But we know it's coming, because the way they said it was this is the next game we're making after Fallout 76, and it was Starfield. But then they said, and we're even thinking about the next game after that. So give or take, maybe a year or two between each one. So say 2020, 2021 at the earliest for Starfield, then say either late 2021, 2022, 2023 for Elder Scrolls 6. But it was an all over the place type conference. It really was. It was up, down, up, down, up, down. The stage was interesting too, how they had it like on all sides. I liked the way they presented it this year, far better than they did last year. Last year was like they were mailing it in. It really felt like they were mailing it in, that it was like Pete went out there, said his thing, came back, pushed play, and then walked away and went to the bar. Like, that's what it felt like. And then came back after having a few drinks for an hour or so, come back, said his piece, said goodbye, and that was it. Like, it was bad last year. It was bad. This year was better, but it was only, like, for me personally, it was only really saved by those last two announcements that we may not be seeing for the next 3 to 4 years, maybe more. So I don't know. Fallout 76 is really up in the air. I'm really excited about Rage 2. And obviously Doom Eternal or Doom 2. But I felt like they never really showed off great amount of gameplay in a way. Like Rage 2 was probably the best for that. Where like Doom, you saw nothing. Fallout 76 was like not good quality gameplay. It was like little tidbit, like little showing things. Like they did these little like vault tech videos, which did not like really. I'd rather than just like, here's the game, we're playing the game. Watch us build stuff. Watch us do things. Show us the menus, like all this stuff. Like just answer questions that way. Don't be cute about it. And yeah, so thank God for those last two, because when I started seeing that Elder Scrolls Blades freaking mobile game, I was like, no, don't do this. Don't do this. You're literally like, you're killing yourself right now. Like, please stop. But they're alright. They're okay. But they pulled it out. They pulled it out in the end, which was nice. It was good. But yeah. Alright guys, that's going to be it for us. Thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye on the channel. We're going to be all over E3. We're going to be doing like each conference. And then specific games and stuff that we find in each conference too. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah. But if you did like, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It would be really cool. And yeah. Alright guys. Peace. Bye.